Well. What do you think of that? West Ham have walked away 2-1 winners away at Freiburg, in front of no fans. In front of no fans. What an achievement that is. This was always going to be a tough game. I thought West Ham actually, as a whole round performance, actually performed really well. Really well. We kept them at bay in the first half. We allowed them to get back into the game laterally in the first half, and also in the second half, they started really well. But eventually, though, some of their errors started to creep back into the game, and we had to keep a hold of the possession of the ball. And that's exactly what we've done. The key element for me was about West Ham winning the first ball and then the second ball in this game. And I felt like we did really well with our turnovers. And that is, again, another key factor. And I think that's what's huge. Listen, so many things have happened tonight. West Ham have played 2 in Europa League and won 2. That's an amazing achievement. That is an amazing achievement. We're putting ourselves in the mix again. And that's all we can ever ask for in this West Ham, in our lives, is supporting this club. Turn up, do a job, get the job done. We could have even really, to be honest with you, got at them more in the first half. I thought their goalkeeper, I think that was their goalkeeper was always going to be the problem. From minute one, you could see he wasn't confident and he was really struggling to get into the game. And we could have got at them a little bit more. I think we didn't get at him a bit more when we should have. I think we could have tested him from distance and we didn't. The pitch was bobbling. You could see when they played the ball back in the first half that the keeper went to collect the ball and just to hit it away, and it bobbled over his foot, and we won a corner from absolutely nothing. But let's not take away from the fact that Paqueta scored. Honestly, it's a world-class goal. People will always talk about Cristiano Ronaldo and how he can rise up beyond rise up and jump so many heights. But look at that. Look at the height that Paqueta's not a big lad. He's not a big lad. But look at that defender. They're looking up at the ball. No one's getting anywhere near that. And it's a great, great delivery from Jared Bowen as well to make to take West Ham 1-0 up in the game. And to be honest with you, then we had momentum and we could really have got at them as a team, but we really didn't. We just didn't get we didn't kind of have that fluidity. We were doing well and holding the ball, but it was the final third. I think Kudus was trying to get into the game, but he was struggling because they put 2 or 3 players on him. They were making quite a few errors. They were passing the ball between themselves in the back line. Nothing was really sticking for them. And I feel like that was our opportunity to really push and get an opportunity to get at them. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. They found themselves get back into the game in this in the second half when that ball got put into the mix, and they drove at our defense. And that's the thing. They drove at our defense, and they were starting to find they were getting in behind. And I think what we did was we just lacked that structure. We lacked that structure. Do you know how sometimes they always say with West Ham that sometimes we start the second half and our heads are down? That's exactly what happened in this game today. Like, we came out in the second half and we let them get at us and they let us get the ball in behind, and that was where the problem was starting to get found. And the ball slips through the middle. The player takes the shot. It's a fantastic save from Fabianski, but puts it into the path of their player who shoots again. It's another great save. I think it was him or the defender blocks the ball, and then it finds itself back into the path. So 3 attempts in the space of quick succession, and on their third attempt, they put the ball into the back of the net. I think there's positives to take from the game. There really is. A good run out for all of the team. But the massive positive is we've won away from home in Europe again. Like, listen to what we are saying. We're in Europa League. I think we're unbeaten in... I don't know where DJ Russie B is. He's got all the stats coming out of his ears. Where is he when you need him? Russ, where are you when we need you? But to think about where West Ham are, who West Ham are, and where West Ham are, like, that is phenomenal. And our centre, what would you call them? Our set pieces are frightening. Look at that goal that Naif Aguerd scored. Absolutely frightening. People are really going to struggle against. Do you know what's really funny? I look at this West Ham team and I'm starting to see little reasons why you're bringing in all these players. We spent this money wisely. We're bringing in a player who sweeps up the messes in Alvarez. We're bringing in a player who's set-piece king, but also offers us something from a kind of deep end. James Ward-Prowse, his ability to read the game from a deep-lying area and really be effective in what he does. Takes on the balls, sprays the balls left and right. Really, really good footballer. He's an exciting prospect for West Ham. Prospect. He's not young, but you know what I mean. Like in terms of his ability in the game. And then obviously Paqueta, like people get frustrated sometimes the amount of times that he plays the ball sometimes to the opposition, and that gives them an opportunity to go forward. But you need that ultimate creativity all game, because literally sometimes when the backs are against the wall, when you need something in a game, you feed the ball to Paqueta and he can create something. Right at the end there, Bowen had a glorious chance to do it. And do you know what? It wouldn't have been anything if it wasn't for Paqueta getting the ball out of that kind of dangerous area, usually around 3 or 4 players. When Paqueta's got the ball, the opposition usually put 3 or 4 players in and around him, and they try and do it. But he feeds off that. That's where he plays a lot better. And then West Ham can go ahead, and if he loses the ball, we should be prepared enough to win those second balls. 9 times out of 10, we did that in the game until we gave Freiburg a chance to get into the game. But the stats for the game were 55% possession to Freiburg to West Ham's 45%. They had 11 shots, and we had 11 shots. They had 5 shots on target, and we had 5 shots on target as well, both with 4 shots on target each, and both with 2 block shots. When you read those stats, you think maybe it was a very equal game. Honestly, I think if you really had to look at the game as a whole, I thought we played well for 60 minutes of it, held their own, done really well, won first and second balls, and then they had about 30 minutes possession where they played really good football. They got into it, took them ages to get into the game, but once they got comfortable on the ball, they started to pick those areas and penetrate. And that's really what they started to do as well. So, yeah, listen, do you know what? If Russ is not going to come on and join me, then I'm going to give a couple of you lot a chance to come on and speak with me just now. So I've put the comments in there. In the comments, you can click this link. Come on and have your say. Why not? Why not? There you go. 17 unbeaten games in Europe, an English record. What else do you want? What else do you want? I don't know what else we want. But that's an amazing feat. That is absolutely a fantastic stat. So come in if you want. Come and have your say. I think the game, the other score in the other game was Olympiacos 2-2 against Topola. So, yeah, fantastic. Let me bring Budgie, our good friend. Budgie boy's in there. Budgie, mate, what do you think of that? Buzzing?
I am buzzing like a nun's pocket, mate. I'll tell you, it's great. I'm loving it. I've only just got in from work, so you'll have to excuse the state of me. But yeah, I watched the game while I was working. Very, very happy with it all. It's very good.
Mate, 17 games unbeaten in Europe.
It's a record.
Do you want
David Moyes?
Shall I repeat that again, though? Do you want me to repeat it again? 17 games unbeaten, mate.
No, it's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, David Moyes and West Ham now hold that record. Not much anyone can do about it for a while because nobody's anywhere near that.
Yeah.
You know?
What's an amazing feat, though, by West Ham, isn't it? And it's an amazing feat, you know, when after having, you know, again, I look at the situation, I look at the season, I look what's going on over the last 3 years, and I can understand people's frustration at sometimes the style of play. But do you know what? Like, essentially, I just said there, like, I felt like West Ham had 60 minutes of that game, 30 minutes came to Freiburg. I thought we played essentially most of the game better than what they did. We weren't clinical enough in front of goal.
No,
but then equally
neither
were they equally, you know?
No, they weren't. I mean, the thing was, I was really surprised at how quickly we came out of the blocks and we took the game to them in the first half. And I like the commentator said, you know, they have no answer for us.
Yeah.
We were basically like a rash all over them. They had no answer to it. They must have got a really good talking to in the changing rooms at half time, because they came out obviously a lot stronger and a lot more confident. but they still didn't really have an answer for us, did they? You know?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I just think it's a great time to be with this West Ham team. I think what I saw today, Budgie,
Yeah.
was the right pieces of the jigsaw just all clicking nicely in. So
How
not,
good was Kudos?
mate. I mean, listen. Do you know what? I thought he was great today, but I think he was. There was like every time he had the ball, there was like 3 or 4 players on him.
Yeah,
He was a
I
threat.
mean,
The same with
I think,
Paqueta. They were fouling him left, right, and centre in the first half. Left, right, and
yeah,
centre.
yeah. I think they kind of must have done their homework on our players because they knew who to mark, they knew when and where to mark. But I don't think they were expecting us to be having so much of the ball in the first half. I think they were expecting us to, sit back on the game and see how it went. But fantastic tactics, brilliant tactics.
Yeah, away from home as well, Budgie, mate. I mean, that's what makes this victory
Incredible.
away from
Nobody
home.
gave us.
And without West Ham fans there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there were 1 or 2, I believe, but not many.
Yeah, a few we know.
yeah, true. Some naughty boys and girls. But I mean, the thing is, we've gone out there, we've done, and fair play to David Moyes. He changed the tactics, or he adjusted the tactics, he adjusted the playing staff, and he just really went for it. And and now we've gone 17 games unbeaten in Europe.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. I'm just trying to get some more content. I've got more content.
Can't hear you.
Oh, hold on a minute. Sorry. Hold on. I'm downloading loads of content I've got from the game. So
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds. Just give me 2 seconds. It's coming.
That's cool.
Right, I've got content coming your way, everyone. If you are watching, I'm going to bring you some live content coming from inside the stadium. So just bear with me here. Hopefully, I should work. Here we go.
Always crashing in the same.
And hold on a second, I've got a few more here coming for you. Don't you worry, everyone. A few more. I don't know if this is the same one. Hopefully, it's not.
Always crashing.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, give me. There's another one coming, Budgie. There's another one coming. Hold on a minute, everyone. If you are there, some live stuff coming from the end. The final whistle. What else can you ask for, Budgie, when you get a little bit of private video sent to you from inside the stadium? Love it. But listen, we've got to be in it to win it. We've got to be in these situations. We can only beat what's put in front of us. We can only deal with the situations that's been that's put in front of us. And the situation is we're the third year in a row, we're in Europe and we're giving a fantastic account for ourselves. And do you know what? Whether anyone likes it or not, Moyes and the team are pulling together.
It's incredible. It's incredible how well we have done in Europe. And again, I have to say, I mean, I've been very critical of David Moyes and his tactics over the last couple of years or so, especially in the Premier League. But you can't question his European tactics. I mean, 17 games unbeaten, and that's that is unheard of. The last time it happened, I believe it was 1973 when the North Londoners in white did it. but
and the thing is, though, that that stat is going to go unheard. Like no one's going to shout out loud about it except for West Ham, because this mainstream media, as we know, don't like to blow any trumpets for West
Well,
Ham. But you know what? I'll happily go under the radar.
oh,
Happily go under the radar.
listen, we've been going under the radar for the last 3 years. You know, a semi-final, yes, a defeat, and a final that we've won. We're now into our third year. Let's stay under the radar. You know, it works for us. It really does.
It really, really does. Trini, I thought it was a dull game. We need to put teams to the sword when we score first. I agree. But I think when we're away from home, it is different, especially when we have no fans there. So I think what you do, in my opinion, you can agree or disagree, is you take the result no matter what. If we've walked away winners, like a lot of people could have doubted that. You know, Freiburg finished 5th last year in the Bundesliga, 1 win or 1 point away from the Champions League. So it's always going to be a tough ask to turn up on their away soil without the full strength, with the full strength of our fan base as well. And I think don't underestimate not having the fan base there. As much as we didn't have it over COVID, there was no home or away fans there, and this game had the full stadium full of home fans. So that was always going to take a little bit
loud and proud too. So you know that must have been quite daunting for the boys. You know, for the West Ham players. Yeah. But they battled through it. You know, they've continued their run in Europe. Long may it continue. You know, I mean, like, all I can say is, you know, I've been very critical of David Moyes. I apologise. That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Wolf Central Gaming says, first half we dominated, second half we were not very good. Yeah, I think essentially you're right. I feel like in the full 90 minutes, I'll give us 60, them 30 minutes. I feel like we really started the game well. Budgie, their keeper, was obviously, in my opinion, a problem for them. And we quickly saw that by putting the balls in on top of him, and he was making a couple of errors, etc. I just don't think we really took advantage of that, if I'm being honest. I thought I would have seen it.
Him often enough.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you know, he was very, very weak on his right side. Yeah. I felt. I mean, he seemed to be able to operate more to his left. And you know, those two narrow misses by Bowen in the last sort of 10 minutes of the game, we could have really put that game to bed. It could have been 4-1.
Yeah. You know? And I think that's where some people actually do maybe get a little bit frustrated, that sometimes you have those opportunities. It's about being clinical. It's about putting these games to bed earlier to give yourself that cushion and that comfort. But again, though, that's just not West Ham. It wouldn't be West Ham if we did put games to bed, because we certainly like the stress, don't we?
Yeah, like I mean, we couldn't even put the game to bed against Luton, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody else has been. Yeah. Well, almost everyone else.
Almost everyone else. Skevy says, well done, Hammers. Thank you very much. Vasallo, what are West Ham? We are massive, mate. That's exactly what we are. Should have had this one from the first half. Freiburg were not very good, so we have nothing to worry about when we play them next. Well, I think, do you know what? If they play that way at London Stadium, then I'm not being a dick, but I am happy that we can do a job. I feel like if we've got a full strength team at home against Freiburg, then I'm feeling a little bit more confident after seeing that. That's not me disrespecting that team, because I do think that they got into the game definitely at stages, but I do feel like our structure, our squad can absolutely deal with that, like deal with whatever threat they've got coming to us. They did come into the game a little bit budgy, obviously, and that's when they got the goal. And I think our backs were against the wall when they got the goal. And then it really kind of came down to the fact that we were allowing them to get in behind us. That was the issue. We were allowing them to feed the balls through, to penetrate through our defense. But I feel like, you know, I've saw Topola. I feel like, you know, going there, they got a good result against Olympiacos tonight. A really good result against Olympiacos, 2 each for them. So I think that's going to be a bit of a shock result tonight. But West Ham now are going to be top of the group with 6 points. Olympiacos follow us with 4 points, and we've got Olympiacos next.
Brighton didn't do too well this evening either, did they?
Well, they drew in the end. They got a last minute, I think, equaliser. So I think they were getting beat. Yeah, they were.
That's not so bad then.
Yeah. JWP man of the match from Troj. We know we are champions of Europe, and record holders of Europe, you could say as well.
Yeah. With a
Arid,
record-holding manager.
yeah, yes, mate, yes, mate. Arid Limassol beat Rangers. They did. Freiburg were poor. From Robert, Byron says relief. Ben says undefeated, still a New English record as well. Apparently, squeaky bum time last few seconds. 17 unbeaten in there. He's in love. Rajiv is in love with James Ward-Prowse. Trini says, I wish Alvarez would get his customary yellow card later in the game. Yeah, he loves a yellow card, doesn't he, Budge?
Yeah, but then, I've got to be honest with you. I mean, okay, I know it's frustrating when a player gets carded and stuff, but it shows his dedication to his game. It shows that he's not going to be playing it half-heartedly. To me, I think, unless a player gets a card for dissent or, kicking the ball away or something stupid like that, I think a yellow card isn't such a bad thing. Yeah, all right, okay. Early in the game is very squeaky bum, but I think that Alvarez, he loves to go in and have a decent challenge. You can't knock the man for that.
Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't do it, and get himself red carded and stuff, But no, I'm very happy with the result. Very happy with the first half. The first half play. I thought it was, really good. But we let them in too early in the game in the second half. We let them in.
Absolutely. Again, though, as much as that happened in this particular game, I always feel like, away from home against a team like Freiburg, like no matter what, get a result, we should walk away happy. I get the comments about putting the game to bed. I get that. I think if this was at home, I would be more complaining a little bit. Not complaining. I'd be happy we've walked away, but I'd be like, come on, West Ham. Like, you got to be clinical. You can't let them get in behind. And you've got the fans.
But, I mean, you've got to remember that playing with 13 men, we only had 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 12 men. 12 men, But,
exactly.
So
we've done a
professional job. We've done brilliantly under those circumstances, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Vinay says we have a spy camera in the stadium. We do. There must have been a small amount of West Ham German fans. No, there was a small amount of West Ham English fans in the stadium. Yeah. Trust me, we know that. Give the boys a like as well. Thought Kudos wasn't very good tonight. Moyes definitely won't be starting him in the league, I reckon. I don't agree. I thought Kudos did play well. I'll tell you what, while you're here, I'll read your stats for the man, the individual stats for Kudos. If I can actually, give me 2 seconds to bring them up. Right, here they are here. So he played 80 minutes in the game. He had 48 touches. He had 79% accurate passes in the game. 2 key passes, 100% accuracy in crosses, nearly 90% accuracy in his long balls. West Ham 132-1. That's Aston Villa. Let's not watch. We don't bother about that. That's not West Ham. That's just on. Sorry, I'm just talking. I'm having a little conversation with a little man. So yeah, 90% long ball accuracy, 1 shot on target, 1 shot off target. He was successful in 100% of his dribbles in the game. He won 60% of his ground duels. He won 50% of his aerial duels. He was fouled quite a few times. 1 interception, he won 1 tackle as well. So that was an all-round very, very good performance from Kudos.
I thought so. I mean, when I first came on to the show, I said, how good was Kudos? A lot of people disagree that he didn't have a great game, but I thought he had a solid game. Yeah. I thought, even my mate that I was working with, he's a North London White fan. And he even said to me, this boy's good. I like the look of this lad. He's keen. He doesn't wait for the ball to come to him. He'll try and intercept, or he'll try and close the player down. I thought he was really good. But for me, I mean, another assist for JWP, great stuff. Hats off to him. But for me, I know he didn't actually make it onto the field, but I think my man of the match has to be David Moyes for his tactics.
Love that, mate. Love that, budgie boy. Listen, what do you think about Paqueta? I mean, a lot of people moan about Paqueta's once or twice in the game that he gives the ball away. My argument for the Paqueta situation is what he does, which is Superman style elements of football,
Yeah,
and the full blown creativity the geezer's got, the amount of times he gets involved back in the defense. When you want West Ham to create something, you're going to give that ball to the Pac-Man. And
yeah,
sometimes that leads to him giving the ball away. I'm okay with that. I
yeah.
genuinely
Me
mean
too.
that. Because
Me
you're not
too.
going to get perfection on the field.
I mean, you look back. I think the last player, really and truly, that we had that you could rely on for a little bit of magic or a little bit of, spark. I think really was Payet, but he was guilty of the same thing, giving the ball away at times, taking on the odd too many players, on the odd occasion. He was not infallible,
Yeah.
and neither is Paqueta. And I think that. In fact, I actually prefer the way the game that Paqueta plays the game than I did Payet. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of people would disagree with that, I know, but it's a personal thing, It's I just really like.
What you get with Pac-Man is you get the all-round player in terms of the defensive-minded player. I mean, the lad gets stuck in left, right, and centre. You didn't get up with Payet, so
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, it's like. Uh, it, it's like having like a mixture of like a Patrick Vieira type defensive minded player. I'm not saying he plays the same way as
I know what you mean.
Vieira, but that defensive mind, he's got that in his book. And in the attack, like when he comes forward with the ball, I think he's got a touch of. I know people are going to change, like they're probably going to shout me down for this, but he's got a little touch of like the Messi about him. He like sometimes you think to yourself, oh, why are you going in? You're backing yourself into a corner, and the next thing you know, he's on the edge of the box putting the ball in or whatever.
Yeah.
He's absolutely quality about in getting out of tight corners and spaces. I love the way he plays. I just really do.
Absolutely. Sorry, I got it wrong, Peter. You're right. Freiburg are second with 3 points, and the other two teams are on 1 point. I forgot Freiburg beat Olympiacos. I thought it was Olympiacos beat Freiburg. I knew that, so apologies for that as well. How do we feel about Bowen up front versus Mings and Mubama? Do you know what? Tactics work tonight. I think essentially we all want West Ham to have that kind of out-and-out striker. I think we will get to see. I'm glad Mubama came on the field, albeit for 4 or 5 minutes. Same with it with Ings, but what you saw with West Ham today was Bowen and Kudos constantly switching. One went through the up top, the other one went out wide, and then vice versa. They did it, and I thought that was quite effective as well. Dalek's in the house. 4 of our new starters, our new signings, we're starting to cook. Happy days. Paul Flower says Champions League next season when we win the Europa League. Goodbyes last 2 windows. Ellis says great result that I'm in that environment. Baza says massive. Come on, you Irons. Look, Happy's in the house. Budge, Happy's in the house.
Hi, Happy.
Mark is saying, is this the end of Pablo? Do you know what? I don't think Pablo had a shit game. I thought Pablo had an okay game. I don't think any West Ham player was shit, but I thought he had an okay game. There was a couple of times I thought, why did he lose that ball in that area? And all that sort of stuff. Like he tried a few things.
The ball in the back of the net, didn't he?
No, not Pablo tonight. Not Pablo.
Who is it that I was told? I went to. Oh, Paqueta had like the disallowed goal.
Yeah, Paqueta.
Oh, it was Paqueta, was it?
Yeah.
My mate thought it was Pablo.
Yeah. Happy Amaret says Paqueta, what a player. He needs to stay on his feet a bit more, though. Don't mean to criticise, but Happy says the end of Fornals. I agree. Joel says until Kudos, we haven't had anyone who runs through the opposition. I tell you what, Joel, a couple of times in that game, he turned the defender, he drove at them, and he caused them concern, in particular in the first half, and they really couldn't deal with him. They really couldn't deal with him at all. So, yeah, absolutely. As aggravating Pac is, he also does things that make you want to name your firstborn male child after. Yeah. Fremer says, take away all those yellow cards. Alvarez will hit the defensive quality of our former number 41. He's mustard, man. I do like Alvarez. I think he's a
I
tidy
do.
player.
I think that as whoever it was that put the comment up saying good 2 windows, that's actually quite right. I mean, even to the point that when Ings came on, he instantly got involved, and I felt that he didn't have a long period on the pitch, but while he was there, he was keen. He got himself involved. He had a few touches, and he played a reasonable role while he was on the pitch. I can also understand the people asking the question, why did we buy him? I mean, he's not been used a great deal. And, he hasn't really pulled trees up. But he's a great squad player. He's happy to be a squad player now at his age. I don't think he's looking to get 90 minutes every week. I think he wants to be that squad player. And the fact that we're in Europe, he's loving that, isn't he?
Oh, man. Loving life, isn't he? Loving life. Yeah. Listen, Budge, I'm going to let you say your man of the match. I'll let you go, and then I'm going to end the stream. So who's your man of the match tonight?
As a player on the field, actually, I'm going to go for JWP.
JWP,
yeah.
What a signing he's been for West Ham, isn't he?
Yeah. He gets it, doesn't he? He gets us, mate. And my hero of the day is David Moyes. I have to say it again.
David Moyes for Budgie Boy.
Got to say it again. My hero of the day.
Yeah. What do you think, everyone? Do you agree with Budgie? I'm going to bring this man up on the screen for you just to say, do you agree? Is this the man of the match, the coach of the match, whatever you want to say him? But David Moyes, Budgie's giving it to the boss man. The boss man, that is David Moyes. Budgie, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. And hopefully we need to have a chinwag soon about getting you back on and doing your regular slot if you have the time and stuff like that. So
yes. Things have started working out better for me now. So I'm a little bit more keen to get back on screen again. The old school, and with me and Kieran, we'll get that back up and running very soon.
Absolutely. Budgie, mate, thank you very much for joining us.
Excellent. Thank you.
Talk to you soon, mate. Take it easy.
You, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, by the way, Newcastle Sunday. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm all ready to go. My ticket's in my wallet and everything, ready to go.
I don't know if it is. I need to double check and make sure. Is it definitely in your wallet?
Yeah. I got it.
Is it? Has it done?
Yeah,
okay, we'll do that. I'll message you after, mate.
All right, brilliant.
Cheers for that, Budge.
I'll give you 20 minutes. I'm going to have a shower, yeah?
Right, cool, mate. Cheers.
Excellent.
Oh, Budge is gone. Budge is gone. Right, there you go, everyone. There's your match day live. There's your highlights review show. Buzzing performance. Fantastic performance from West Ham. West Ham just getting the job done. That's what we need to do in Europe. Get the job done, work ourselves through the rounds and give ourselves the best chance of qualifying for the round of 16. Listen, the incentive is you win your group, you qualify for the round of 16. You miss that round of 32, you get a little bit of a break as well. Go ahead and beat Olympiacos at home. We're giving ourselves the best start we possibly can. And then we that what a great feat, what a great situation we're in. What a great situation we're in. So listen, tomorrow we'll give you all the ratings. Make sure you join us tomorrow. We're already going to be focusing on Newcastle for the weekend. Goldie, the goldfish, is up there. That goldfish is rocking and rolling with its life, and it's not called Goldie. It's actually called... What's that fish called again? I need to speak to the kids. Can't remember because it's been so long since I've actually looked at it. But it has been cleaned, so don't worry about that. Delighted. Absolutely delighted. But join us tomorrow. Loads of content. There'll be 5 things you learned about the game today. There'll be the highlights, the what do you call them? Player ratings. We'll have the press conference for the Newcastle game. And then we've got an international break coming up, but we've got loads of stuff coming your way. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. If you want to become a channel member, then click on the join option for that as well. Thank you so much for the support. Much love. Hope you've enjoyed the matchday content today, and we'll see you in the morning. Come on, you Irons.